Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Rob Benashak, aka the Spiritual Spinister, and it is time to spin into the stillness. This is that time of the week that we carve out for ourselves, a time to be still, a time to reflect, and a time, hopefully, that we can commit and recommit to ourselves the power of stillness, the agency that we recall that we have in the stillness, and then the motivation and inspiration to apply that as we move through our evening and our days and our weeks ahead. So we have several steps, just a couple of steps in this process. We like to set an intention for our meditation. And that's just to give ourselves a little bit of focus for this time that we've created for ourselves, to make it efficient, to have the courage and the presence to really think about what we want, what our desires are, what our intentions are as we seek to go more deeply into ourselves. And it's a simple process, really. I prefer to write mine down on a little slip of paper, such as this one. You can write yours down in a meditation journal. You can, you can write it on the palm of your hand, because when I put it on this little slip of paper, uh, you can keep it then close by you during that meditation. You can have your energy added to that little slip of paper. And then, of course, if we were in person, I would gather that paper from you or invite you to give it to me. And then I send them off. I burn these little slips of paper in the flames, which I will do this evening by proxy. So I will set my own intention, and then I will also write another slip that says everyone's intentions. And so that energy gets gathered into this little slip of paper, and I can toss that one in there as if I'd gathered all of the ones participating tonight and beyond and toss them into the flames, because that allows us to not only set our intention, but to let it go so that we're not focusing so much on how it's going to happen. We can set it and forget it, and then see how it is playing out in our week as it comes to us. So let's do it. Let's set an intention. And again, it can be as simple or as complicated as you would like. Simple is always, well, I would like to say that simple is better, but I tend to complicate things quite a bit myself. But just a few words, just a prompt for yourself to focus on your time that you are in meditation. Something you would like to see happen tonight or in the next couple of days or in the next week as we move through post meditation. I've set mine. Us. Write everyone's intentions. So you see, I've done that here. And then I will add that to the flames when I'm finished. All right, so that step is done. So our next step is uh, adding to that intention and um, using an oracle card to help kind of focus that intention. And the deck that we use is called the Star Codes Astro deck. Again, I love this deck. We've been using it for quite some time. I just really love uh, its simplicity. I love that we haven't gotten through it yet. I love that we oftentimes draw the same card um, from not necessarily week to week, but oftentimes every couple of weeks or once a month, we might draw the same card that we drew in the previous month or in the previous week. And that's just the way that the cards are drawn. I do shuffle them throughout the week. I use them myself. So it is really, for me, a reminder that if this card keeps coming up, well, then there's something in it that I really need to pay attention to. And if you've written a different intention, but that same card has come up to respond to that intention, well, that card uniquely responds to your intention. So we got a lot of cards to get through. We've gotten through several of them, but I like to see how far I can go and see how many cards new in the deck that we can get to. And if not, we're just going to keep drawing until we do. And if we draw those same cards repeatedly, well, they've got something to say for us. Again, you don't have to believe in the mysticism of a card deck, of an oracle card deck. I encourage you then to just think of that card and whatever information follows from it, or the artwork of the card, as a creative prompt, as supplying you with a greater perspective, with different information, or a new way to look at the issue or the intention that you have set when you wrote it down on your little ticket of paper. So just consider it like a flashcard, a creative flashcard. Like you're going to see a word, you're going to see some art, you're going to hear me say some things about this card, and all of those things put together might help you see an issue a little differently or invite you to expand on your perspective using the information from the card and the message that we get from the card. So I think it might be that time to shuffle and draw. Let's see where it takes us. Now, while I'm shuffling, you might want to get yourself into a comfortable position so that you can listen to me read the card information. And we can also get prepared for meditation. A couple of housekeeping issues. You want your position to be relaxed, but you also want to remain alert, as alert as you can at the closing of a day like this, at the end of a very cold day here in Washington, D.C. So if you can remain alert in addition to being relaxed, that would be the ideal. Remember, we are each in our respective personal locations. So any number of things can pop up to distract us, regardless of how much we've sequestered ourselves somewhere, no matter how private we've made our room or our situation. The door might knock, or someone might knock at the door. Outside my window, you may hear sirens. I live in DC and there's a lot of sirens. You might hear my dogs bark, which they do. Your own dogs might bark and your own sirens might blare. So the point of this is when we are getting still, when we are focused and remaining silent and remaining open, then yes, we might be startled by something external, but our real aspiration is to be able to kind of catch that stillness whenever we are thrown off in any way, whenever there are conflicting or perhaps distracting situations outside of us. Can we grab that stillness again? And then when we can, when we know that we can, how quickly can we grab that stillness back? So that's the goal. You might be startled if you hear an ambient noise, but just use that opportunity to go a little deeper, swing right back around, head back in, and reclaim your spot in the stillness. And our card for tonight is excuse me, I draw the top card so that you can see that I'm not reaching into the deck myself. I'm just going to draw this very top card. This card, this one card, represents the additional information that we need for our individual intention. So, one card for all of us. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Here's our card for tonight. I'm not sure if we've gotten this one before, but I think we have. The card for tonight is Ascendant. Its message is entrance. So Ascendant, entrance. We are entering into a new place. We are ascending into a new position. Again, quite an appropriate card. And I'm going to put this card down, and we are going to give you the opportunity to take a look at it right there. It's a beautiful card. So as you look at the artwork, as I read more about the card, uh, just start clocking what you're feeling, uh, maybe aligning it with your intentions, seeing if there's any information there that you're getting from the art or from the words or just from the meditation itself, um, and seeing how it relates to your intention and seeing whether you've got more information to take with you into meditation. All right. So let's read more about Ascendant and the entrance. This is one of the cardinal points. In the natal chart, the ascendant tells a story about how you walked into this life at your birth and how you walk into any new situation. It describes the door through which you see the world and the world sees you, your filter system, and hints at your awakening consciousness. The ascendant, also known as the rising sign, describes the degree of the zodiac just coming up over the eastern horizon at the moment and place of your birth. The action of this card, how do you see the world? Take a long look at the assumptions and presumptions that through which you filter your experience of reality. Really look at how your privilege, trauma, or certain attributes of your history can distort the reality of the moment. Do what you can to dismantle those obstructions so that you can see the whole view. Open that aperture. Conversely, look carefully at the signals you send off. Do they match your intent? Do you say you're fine when you really need a hug? Are you trained to sound modest or apologetic when really you know what you're doing? Do you act like you know what you're doing when you don't? Notice what you project onto the world and take responsibility for how you are seen. The ascendant is where you become visible. If this makes you nervous, investigate what needs to be healed or where you need to grow in your confidence in order to feel comfortable with being seen. If you are asking about a project in your intention, look for what needs to be repaired or improved before you hold a press conference. The challenge of this card, the front door, is only one part of the house. Be willing to look beyond appearances and into the heart. But don't count on others' ability to do so too. The gift of this card over time, your reputation is built on what you do, not how you look. So this card is all about doing. And before we meditate, just some notes here. One of the things that I've said a couple of paragraphs ago was really look at how your privilege, trauma, or certain attributes of your history can distort the reality of the moment. I'm going to invite you to change that word of distort to affect the reality of the moment. So our reality of the moment is that reality. It's not a distortion, but it is being affected. And so if we want to be honest about how those experiences in our past or leading up to now impact us, then we have to be open to seeing how they are impacting our lives right now. So let's replace the word distort with just affect your reality. How did that trauma, how did that experience impact what you are experiencing now in your world? It's not distorted, it's just a truth of how you're experiencing it. That's number one. And then number two, I just want to take I said again in another preceding paragraph, notice what you project onto the world and take responsibility for how you are seen. Now, I heard a podcast the other day of a very popular self-help maven. Her name is oh my goodness, it's slipping from my mind. Mel, I'm forgetting her last name. This is hers, but she was talking about the word responsibility in this podcast. And her latest book is called Let Them. So maybe some of you already remember her name. I've slipped my mind. But the premise of this is whatever anybody is doing, let them. It is not our business to try to change other people. We can only work on ourselves. And in that, she was talking about that word responsibility and how I know myself, I've run from this on many occasions. But in fact, if you break down the word responsibility, is simply our ability to respond. That's it. So claiming that responsibility or asserting that responsibility is just our way of saying or using a degree of our ability to respond. That's all. So those are two key things from how I'm reading here. We have to be willing to be seen now. So we are ascending into a highly visible place for ourselves. And it's time to meditate on that as we ascend into ourselves. So find that perfect, beautiful spot. And tonight I'm doing things just a little differently. I am going to uh, give us a little sound bath with my little Tibetan bowls instead of my steel drums, so you can know how that sound bath is going to come. If you're sensitive to some of those tones, you might want to turn your volume down a little bit. Let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths. We're going to go into meditation, and we're going to inhale fully. If that means inhaling all the way through, really expanding your stomach as you inhale. And then as you pause for a moment and then exhale fully, you want to blow all that air out through your mouth. So let's inhale, expand, 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 and hold. And exhale nice and slowly. We're going to hold briefly and inhale again. And hold. And exhale slowly. And hold. One more time. Inhale. And hold and exhale. And exhale. And hold. And now allowing your breathing to return to a natural but intentional state, you can begin to flutter your eyes closed. We have the card up on the screen. And I invite you to become more and more relaxed as you listen to the tones of the bowls. With each breath, your body becomes more and more relaxed. Attach yourselves to the tone, breathing in and breathing out. Our bodies becoming more and more light and relaxed. Any physical pain or any tension in any part of our body, just imagine it turning into a liquid and washing away. And do a little scan of your emotions this evening, your thoughts, your feelings. We're very busy in our world today. We're very stressed about so much. But for tonight, for now, whatever stressful thoughts or feelings or emotions are coming up, just allow them to liquefy. And just imagine them flowing away or flowing down the drain. Now that we are relaxed, now that we have released the pain, any anxieties or angsts, we are very relaxed. We feel very safe in this moment. We're in a space that we've chosen for ourselves. We're warm where we are. We find ourselves almost falling into a dream. And in this dream, we experience ourselves as our own beautiful essence. And that essence can be however we choose to experience ourselves. Perhaps it is as a beautiful song. Perhaps it is a little elemental creature like a fairy. Perhaps it is a beautiful mist of color or a beautiful ray of color. But our essence is here in this dream. It is who we are. And as we identify that essence as whatever vision that has come to mind for ourselves, we begin to realize that where we are, that essence is hidden. That essence is hidden in the illusion of our material body, and we can sense its light, we can sense its power. And we can sense all around us the pull of the world around us that needs to see us, that needs to experience us as this glorious, bright and deepening essence. Whether it is the call of our community or our family members, whether we have a certain intuition that we are needed somewhere, whomever is calling us forth is not seeing us clearly. And it is time that we reveal ourselves. And so let us now imagine that essence begin to rise from that illusion of our material self, rising up and out into the ether. And as we do, our material self in this dream just fades away. And we become very aware of the souls of the world that are waiting for our entrance, our revelation. And we allow our brilliance to break through a veil, the veil that has kept us hidden. The veil pulls away, and we are revealed in all of our wordless, glorious glory. All of our essences are revealed to one another in this space, each one as glorious as the one next to it. I am glorious and you are glorious. In this space, we are tuned to our strengths. We are tuned to our gifts. And we are tuned to our mission, that mission of sharing all of our glorious gifts with the world around us in response or in order to help us manifest that intention that we just set moments ago. We are glorious. Glorious as lights, glorious as beings, glorious as luminous mist, whatever we've seen as our essence this evening just becomes more and more rich. And as we experience the essences of all around us, we feel each other become more and more glorious. As I experience your essence, I become more glorious. As you experience mine, so do you. We are rising into ourselves, into our best selves, into our strongest, most courageous, most impactful selves. And just for a moment, we allow for some quiet time here in this space of souls for our deep self, that voice within, has an assignment for us. Let us now listen briefly for what that assignment may be, what our mission might be, Let us hear it or experience it or feel it or understand it in the way that our deep self can reach us. And now that we've had that dialogue with our deep, deep self, let us be at peace. Let us feel and allow our serenity to fill our essence completely as we begin to return to our material bodies. And imagine that our material bodies rise up into us and envelop us. Right underneath us, our beautiful earth body appears, surrounds us, absorbs the essence that we are as we animate and reanimate our physicality. And for now, we've reanimated ourselves without the pain or stress or suffering. In this moment, we are safe and so pure, feeling goodness, feeling our power, feeling our ascendant selves. And now let us imagine that body becoming more and more solid around us, forming as it reanimates. We can wiggle our toes and fingers and just shake ourselves around there. We're going to return completely by taking 3 quick breaths. Let's inhale and exhale. Inhale again and exhale. And one more deep breath. Inhale and exhale completely, and allow your eyes to pop open or flutter open however you choose. And yes, here we are back together again, having taken a lovely journey into our deep, deep self. That was fun. What did you learn? We were ascending. We were becoming more of ourselves. We were becoming visible to the souls around us. And once we're visible, then we can be tapped for what our gifts are. We can apply ourselves. We can heed the call of how we are supposed to be serving ourselves and the world. So I hope that you were able to experience that. And I invite you to share your experience of this evening. So just jot a few words down in the comments section of wherever you're watching this. Say hello. How is this working for you? If this is your first time, share that. Share what your ongoing experiences have been. If you have been here for years, a couple of years now, how is this helping you unfold for yourself? So grateful. We would love to have the exchange in the community online. It's always been something I have been aiming for. So let's do it. Let's make 2025 the year that we are sharing as a community. We need each other more than ever. And I'm grateful for those of you that have been here and that are continuing to join us from wherever you are. So let's check to see who's here. Kathleen and Sue have been here. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you both. Thank you for joining me here. As always, let's see if there are others on the other socials like Facebooks. Let's see. La, la, la. Here's Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Joyce, I saw that you were away. I hope you're going to have a beautiful time on vacation if that's where you're going, but it looks lovely and warm, and yeah, you'll be back later, right? So enjoy that very much. Let's see who else is here. I am not seeing anybody clearly, but then like Facebook always shows me people later or after I've signed off. So if you're here and I've missed you, say hello anyway. You can still write in the comments. The comments are still up for posting either in YouTube or on Facebook. So hopefully I'll see you there. And now it's time to send our stuff off into the flames, if you don't mind. So I'm going to move these balls here. Move my candle over. And let's do this. So here we are. I'm sending mine, and then I'm going to send yours. I'm going to send mine, and then I'm going to plop yours in directly behind me so that they all get serving from the same flame. There we go. There's everyone's intentions right there as they go up together. Well, everyone's intention needs to be a little more. There we go. That's better. So, there we have it. And that is us for tonight. Thank you for being here. Stay warm. It's so cold, which is why I'm bundled up here tonight in my wonderful hoodie. And take care of each other. Stay together. Let's keep in touch. And I will see you back here next week at the same time, in the same platform, or on the same platforms. I love you all. Good night.